What's good? What's good? Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Oh man. Welcome to the new year. Just January 2nd. Hope y'all had a beautiful one. I hope y'all brought the new year in healthy, um, positive, good energy, all those different types of things. All of those play a big role. Um, the last live we had was very um, I don't want to say emotional, but it was very informing. It was very enlightening. It was it was giving big brother, little brother, you know, something that we need more of. Shout out to the young brother that was on. We didn't come on, but the young brother who was tapped in, 14-year-old brother from, I believe he was from down south, and he was discussing some of the issues he was having um, as a young man trying to find himself, um, you know, in and out of relationships, dealing with females or what have you, um, which is something that, is a topic that should always be spoken about, you know, especially if you are a young brother trying to do the right thing, young brother or sister trying to do the right thing spiritually, right? It's a lot of peer pressure out there, um, a lot of bullying, whether it's in person or whether it's via social media. I know it can get hard. I know it can get very hard for the young brothers and sisters out there. So to see somebody like that who's trying to stay positive and do the right thing I applaud that. And, I hope he continues to stay on that right path as we discussed that day, staying on the right path. So, like I said, I hope y'all had an awesome new year. Um, if you didn't receive any gifts, like I said in the last live, it's okay. You know, the greatest gift that we can receive is life. Is life, all right? Abundance, good health, and being able to just give love to someone else. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you can give the love to someone else, then I believe that's a gift, you know? So, so we here in 2025. A lot's been going on. I was kind of iffy about doing today's live. I'm sorry. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, do all of that good stuff. Okay, we want this channel to grow, so we could increase the dialogue, so we can increase the engagement. Um, Remember, this platform is just not for me. Hey, what's good, Grace Winters? How you doing, sister? I hope you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yes, thank you. Like I said, so this platform is just not for me to inform you guys on different things going on in the world, information, all of that. It's about me being educated too. I believe that you can educate me in different ways also. So this is just not about me educating y'all. This is a two-way street, okay? So this is the energy that we're giving. So once again, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do all of that, okay? There's 12 people in the building. Hopefully, if all 12 of y'all are not subscribed, I hope y'all subscribe now, all right? I have some good topics I want to talk about. All right, I was unsure if I was going to tap in, but it's about that time. Liam, what's good? What's good, Liam? Subscribe to the channel. So, let's get right to it. So, our brother, Joe Buttons, was seen, he's been charged for allegedly standing naked in a hallway. Okay? This is out in New Jersey. He has always... People are saying he has always been talking about sleeping his sleepwalking situation that he has. all right, on his podcast. I've never heard him talk about it, but people are saying that he's always been talking about it. And it's unfortunate that he still, I don't know if he suffered from this as a child or if this has just started to happen. I know for myself, Alex, what's good, kid? If you've suffered from sleepwalking or if you've slept walk any time in your life, can you please put it in the comment section? All right? Put it in the comment section. So I've slept walk one time in my life. Okay? I was actually about 14, 15 years old. And okay, so you have Alex Blue. Alex, how old were you when you experienced a sleepwalking situation, and do you still sleepwalk? I don't know how old you are, but do you still sleepwalk? So, by the grace of God, I only sleptwalked one time. Okay? So, I was on tour. For y'all who don't know, I was in the Boy Squad of Harlem, so we traveled around the world. So you were 6 years old and you still sleepwalk right now. If you don't mind your age, can you just let me know how old you are? Okay? What's up, YNE Squad? Peace. Happy New Year. We're talking about sleepwalking. We're talking about the topic tonight for right now is sleepwalking. I have experienced it. I was about 14 years old. I don't know if that comes from anxiety or stress or whatever it is. I don't know. I just know that when I was about 14 years old, I was traveling a lot. I was always performing. I was always on the road, traveling, not getting enough sleep. And we was in Minnesota. And we had just came in from performing, and we went to the hotel. We had went to the hotel, and I found myself in the hallway knocking on random doors. Okay? Thank God I didn't go in nobody's room. Thank God, nothing bad happened to me. So I found myself knocking on doors. I don't even know how I got back in my room, to be honest with you. Maybe one of my roommates let me back in the room. But I do know when I woke up that next morning, I realized that, yes, that I was sleepwalking. I know I was a little mad because, we were supposed to go to the Mall of America while we was in Minnesota, and we didn't go. So I knew I was a little uptight about that. Maybe that's because my mind didn't want to rest. I don't know. But if this was a thing, so Alex Blue, so you still sleepwalk. Do you ever find yourself outside of your house? Or do you just sleepwalk in your house? I feel that if you're a person who sleepwalks, in your house frequently, you should create some type of safety measures so you don't find yourself outside. So you don't find yourself walking down the street, going into some random store, a place of business, because now your safety is at risk. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm glad that, that Joe Buttons was not put in a situation where his safety was at risk. This is only a case where he invaded someone else's property, and they called the cops. So he goes to court January 16th to, I guess the judge will, probably give him a warning, and he'll go from there. Okay? So, what a way to bring in the year. This happened right before the New Year's. Like, that's super weird, Okay, so we have some acts of terrorism going on. It looks like a young brother. Okay, in New Orleans, let's get to the facts. So a young brother in New Orleans named Shamsuddin Jabars, he ran, it says, path to financial ruin. It looks like the terrorists who killed 15 people in New Orleans on Wednesday went from chasing a dream to real estate success to living in total squalor. So it looks like he ran a car into a crowd of people and killed 15 people. This brother was in, okay, was he in college? I read that he was in college. It looks like, I did some reading up on him. It looked like he was a very intelligent guy, you know, but was suffering from maybe some PTSD from being in the Army. He was in the Army for 8 years. Just like the guy who blew up the Tesla car in Trump Plaza. So, listen, you know, people, I'm not against joining the military or being in the Army. I just know that a lot of people suffer from PTSD or mental health issues from being in the Army. And it can take a toll on you. It can take a toll on you. You know, Donald Trump, he's about to be president. Some might feel that he might not be the right president. Listen, I would never go to the Army either. I would never, that is just not me. If I was to ever go to the service, I would probably, I don't know if I could do the Navy. I can't be on no boat that long. I'm not doing no Air Force thingy. Wow. What would I do? It would probably have to be the Navy, because I'm not doing the Air Force. I'm not trying to be on land, the Army, doing that. So yeah, it would definitely have to be, I would be a mechanic. You would be a mechanic for the service. See, that's the good thing. Okay, so when you're in the service, you just don't have to be, I don't know what the term is. I'm gonna make up one. You don't just have to be at arms. Okay, where you're fighting or shooting. You could be a nurse. You could be a mechanic. You could be, there's different things you could do while you're in the service. Okay, so I think that's probably, I think you can be like an IT with the computers and all that kind of stuff. There's different things you could do while you're probably, you could probably even be working on some type of degree, college degree, when you're doing this. So you just don't have to be a person who's fighting for the country. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, actually shooting guns and jumping out of planes and jumping in water and all that kind of stuff. My father was in the Navy, you know, and he got an honorable discharge, you know. I know a few people who got honorary discharges, you know. So hopefully these people, you know, well, one guy, the guy who did the Tesla situation, he shot himself right before he ran his, right before the Tesla truck blew up in the lobby. And but this other guy, I don't know. It looks like they got him, and he's probably gonna be doing a lot of time in jail. It's sad. It's sad, man. You know, it's sad. And I wonder what kind of benefits some of them get. Like, are they getting enough benefits when they are no longer in service, when they're not fighting, or when they're not at war? You know, are they getting like the health benefits they need to get therapy? Are they getting jobs? Like, these different things. I hope they're receiving these services, because just being thrown back into this world, you know, or to society, can be a hard thing, you know. I can only imagine. Subscribe, comment, and share, okay? Make sure y'all do that. And once again, Happy New Year for those just coming in on the live. So what a way to start our year with this terrorism and these acts. I hope it has nothing to do with Trump going in office, you know, so we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. All right? We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Kridost. Happy New, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. YNE, did you subscribe to the channel yet? I need to know. I see you're very active on here right now. Are you subscribed to the channel? Pretty soon, yes, you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also let me know what city or state you're from, so I can give y'all a shout out. So, our good brother LeBron James says he could play up to 7 more years, but he won't. That's interesting. I feel like he can play that long. I feel he could play. Oh, Dallas? Okay. Dallas, Texas in the house. Wow. Went to Houston a few years ago. Houston is live. If I go back to Texas, I feel like I want to go back for about a good week and a half. Because while out in Texas, I realized how big, well, while out in Houston, I realized how big Texas is and the different cities in Texas I would like to visit, right? You got Houston, which I was at. You got Dallas, San Antonio, and I feel like I'm missing another one. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. So those are the 3 spots I definitely have to go the next time I go to Texas. All right? The lounges was awesome. Food was good. It's good to see that while in those lounges, I like how the security, they had guns. They were strapped, you know. Frisco, Texas. Wow. So you out there in Frisco. Okay. So there's not only a Frisco, there's a Frisco in LA too, I believe. Frisco, Texas. And the price of living isn't that bad either. So I got to salute to that. I got to definitely salute to that. So shout out to Texas in the building. Real talk, real talk. I'm going to start putting my Cash App on here so you guys can donate to the Cash App. I'm going to probably put it. Yeah, listen. You know what? I'm going to take a picture of it right now. You live in Dallas, but you're from Frisco. Okay. So how is Frisco? What's the vibes in Frisco? I'm going to go to my YouTube right now so I can put my Cash App on here. Oh, it's good? Okay. Okay, that's what's up. That is what's up. Okay, I don't know if I can find my live one here. Give it some time. Okay, my people. Okay, it's better than Dallas? Really? Is the food better than Dallas, though? That's what I gotta know. Is the food better than Dallas? Or is the food better than Houston? Because when I was out there, it was different. View channel. All right, cool. Here we go. Put it on in the chat. Big picture. Harlem. Wow. I'm a foodie. So I'm a foodie, so Dallas has good food. Pin message. So I need to be locked in with Dallas then when I go out there. And those freaking highways are just so wide, you know? And I was like, nah. I said Texas. Who's this? I said Texas is where I need to come visit again. You know what I'm saying? Let me send some people to this live. Some people are hitting me up. So I gotta send them on here. I gotta send them the link. But all right, YNE, are you a Laker fan or are you a Dallas fan? Which one is it? Which one is it? And keep it real with me. Keep it real with me, kid. gonna send this out to some of the followers we got. If y'all not on my Instagram, make sure you go to my Instagram, Big Picture Media Harlem. Make sure y'all subscribe. All right. Make sure y'all follow the page. Let me see something. What's up? Yeah. Luca is also you fool with Dallas. All right, cool. I'm not hating, bro. Listen, I actually like Dallas because I like Kyrie Irving. So if there was any other team other than the Lakers, it would have to be around like the Knicks and Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know Kyrie Irving. You know, he's from the Bronx. His pops is from the Bronx. So, you know what I mean? Gotta go with my man Kyrie. Let me put this link on IG stories so people can know what it is. Yeah, man. What's good? Luca is the GOAT. Yeah, Luca, I like that dude, man. You know, he gives me vibes of European basketball. You understand what I'm saying? Where do you live, if you don't mind me asking? I do my live from Jersey, from the house. You understand what I'm saying? You know? Oh, where do I live? Oh, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm here reading you wrong. All right, I live in New Jersey. Okay, I live in New Jersey. I'm from Harlem. But I live in New Jersey. I'm up here saying, where do you live? Like I ain't got no high school diploma. Yeah. With some college experience. Right? But nah, I live in East Orange, New Jersey, but I'm from Harlem. So yeah, I'm a Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan for years. When I first started watching basketball, I was a Boston fan. I was a Boston Celtics fan. And then I just was watching Magic play, and I was like, wow. I was like, Magic is that guy. You understand what I'm saying? And I just started becoming a Laker fan, and I've been a Laker fan ever since, even after Magic left. All right, cool. I'll catch you later, YNE. Salute, and thanks for subscribing, King. When Magic left, I still was a Laker fan through the whole Vlade Divac era, Cedric Ceballos, what's the other dude's name? Nick Van Exel. I don't know if y'all remember him. You know, of course, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Like, that's my team. You know, so LeBron James, like, I'm glad he's able to, you know, play with his son. I think that's a very big thing in the NBA, in the basketball culture. You know, we've never seen that before. And I think that's something that's really big. A lot of players, you know, retired players, you see their sons playing now. And it's a beautiful thing. But to be on the court with him, live, like direct, is a beautiful thing. You know, so shout out to LeBron, shout out to his son, both his sons. And I think, you know, both of his sons are going to be successful in the NBA. They're going to be very successful. I think LeBron got about a good 2 more years in him. He got about a good 2 more years, respectfully. After this season, he'll probably do 2020, 2026, 2027. So I think LeBron is going to retire by at least the 2028 June. 2028 will be his last game in the NBA. All right? I think his son, 9/9, what's good, man? Happy New Year. Salute. My bad for not letting you. I was jumping on, but I see Yes, you finally caught me, man. You finally caught me. You know? Happy New Year. Salute. I hope you brought it in awesome, quiet, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, I see LeBron doing about a good 2 more years. You know, I can't see him, jumping to another team, getting traded. I don't see that happening. You know, um, I really don't see that in the near future. Nah. I don't think he's leaving the Lakers. I'm not jacking that. If he does leave the Lakers, he's gonna go to Cleveland. He's gonna go back to Cleveland and end his career there. Get one more ring and call it up and wrap it up. You dig? But he has, like, I believe him. He does have 7. Nah, Def staying on this. Yeah, he's staying on the Lakers. He's staying on the Lakers for sure. He's staying on the Lakers for sure. I'm not jacking. He's going to another team. You know? So like I said, he said he has 7 years left. I'm glad he's not going to be one of those players that play until he gets hurt. Well, not until he gets hurt. To where he's embarrassing himself or embarrassing the team. I think that's how you pretty much, you kind of like, you mess with your brand. You mess with your legacy. When you one of those players who say, "Yo, I'm gonna play until I can't play no more." So he's smart. He's smart for letting the people know, and we can tell the man is healthy. The man is outplaying all those young players. Like, nah, I got 7, 8 more years in me, but y'all ain't gonna get that out of me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he still wants to be able to train with his kids. With I think one of the kids' name is Bryson or something, Bryce or something like that. But his youngest kid, the younger one, he's about to go to college. So I can see his younger one going to college maybe for about a year or 2. I can't see him going to school for no more than a year or 2. He might want to play with him. If he can get him on the Lakers, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Okay, thank you, Nova. Okay, I forgot we had this discussion. You were the go-to guy. Awesome. So LeBron's 2 sons' name are Bryson and Bronny. You're right. So Bronny, yes, so he's on the Lakers. He's doing what he can do. So I can see Bryson. I think he got. What school is Bryson going to? I forget he just got accepted to a school or just chose a school. Okay? So I can see Bryson playing for maybe a year or 2. So we'll be able to see really how good this kid is. Because I've been hearing a lot of good things about him. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him. Some more respect to Bronny. I've been hearing that he's better than Bronny. So, if Bryson James can show out while he's in college, I want to see him play for 2 years in college. If we can get 2 years out of Bryson in college and he can get that experience, because I feel with it's Bryson Bronny, I kind of feel that Bronny was rushed. I feel like that whole thing with him was rushed. He should have played for at least, I don't know how many years he played, but he needed 1 more year in college. I'm sorry. He needed 1 more year. You got Bryce. You got Carmelo Anthony's son. He's about to come up in a little bit. He's going to Syracuse. He needs to play for 2 years also. Let these kids mature a little bit. Give them time to grow while they're in the league. In college. Because that's only going to better their game. I get it. Some of these kids are the best going to Arizona. Yes. Bryce is going to Arizona. And that's a good school. That's a good school. Bronny was in, I believe it was USC. I don't know how good USC is. I don't know how much USC is known for their basketball, but um, Arizona is a big school. That's a very big school. So we're gonna see some good things from that kid. I've never seen Bryce play before. I can't wait to see him play. I cannot wait to see him play. We also gotta keep an eye on the WNBA too. The WNBA, Juju Watson, I think that's her name, and it's another young lady. I think she plays for Connecticut or something like that. Like, I haven't been watching my WNBA games. I gotta get back into my WNBA bag because it can get ugly over there too. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Suns play, Bryson and Bronny. You know, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. So shout out to LeBron, you know what I mean, for holding it down for the Lakers. And I don't know, we'll probably get, like I said, we'll probably get 2 years out of him the most. Three the most. Let's keep it a beat. All right. So shout out to my guy Dame Dash. Rockefeller Records. Former Rockefeller Records CEO. He was on a podcast the other day and says that what did he say? Dame Dash claims Jay-Z wrote Memphis Bleek's lyrics during Rockefeller heyday. I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know this. You understand what I'm saying? Dame Dash was there. So I highly doubt that Dame Dash would cap about something like that. You know, it's just unfortunate that Jay-Z doesn't respond to anything. Only thing he's responded to lately was the allegations about him and Diddy sleeping with a 13-year-old girl. So it's unfortunate that Jay-Z doesn't speak out or doesn't respond to anything. All we know is that Dame Dash was there. I saw a response that Memphis Bleek said. He responded by saying, well, people always felt he was whack. So are they saying Jay-Z is whack? I don't think that was a right response to say. I don't think that was the right response at all. If you're not going to respond saying, no, it wasn't true, I know sometimes, when people, especially celebrities, when they make responses, sometimes I think they don't want to make a direct response saying yes or no because they want to leave room for suspicion to make you think, okay, maybe he was or maybe he wasn't. But it's not far-fetched. It happens all the time. You understand what I'm saying? There was rumors that Nas wrote for Foxy, or that Jay-Z wrote for Foxy, or that Mace wrote for maybe an artist or two, or Camera. Like, this is not something that is unheard of in the music industry. Artists write. Biggie Smalls, Biggie wrote for Little C's, Biggie wrote for Little Kim. Like, this is not unheard of. I just feel like, Memphis Bleek, he's trying to fight that whole negative energy of that, Jay-Z is, without Jay-Z, he's nothing. Or without Jay-Z, he wouldn't be this successful. You understand what I'm saying? And there's no need to fight that. There's nothing wrong with having a big brother who's been looking out for you in the music industry. Because you don't see that a lot. You don't see, big brothers or people that have been holding you down hold you down to this day. You understand what I'm saying? So I personally don't feel that Memphis Bleak needed to respond to it at all, whether it was true or not, because that's part of team. That's a team effort. You understand what I'm saying? Like if he said, "Yo, Jay-Z wrote all his music," then that's something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, yo, it's nothing wrong with that. People write for Usher. People write for Drake. People help out with some of the biggest artists that we admire. So, nah, it's cool. It's cool. People feel that Memphis Bleak, like he gives Jay-Z too much credit when he's on, Drink Champs and all these other podcasts or whatever. Yo, that's his big brother, man. Jay been looking out for this dude since day one. There's nothing wrong with Memphis Bleak giving Jay his flowers while he can smell them. There's nothing wrong with that. Memphis Bleak, he earned that position. This boy works hard. This boy been working hard since day one. Regardless of how much money he gets paid to be the hype man for Jay-Z on the road and things of that nature. We got to stop looking for ways to bring down our people, man. Like this dude, he's made a living rolling with Jay for years, for decades. I would do it. I would do the same thing too. Like, come on, don't hate. Don't hate, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. Let me run Duce. Let me run, one of those brands. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do a couple things differently, but you can't knock the man hustle for the position that he's been playing, whether Jay was writing his music for him, whether he, talks about Jay on other podcasts or what have you. And now he's about to start his own podcast called Rock Solid. And that's supposed to be dropping this year. I'm looking forward to that being a successful podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Jay-Z will come on his joint. 100. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Listen, make sure, listen, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, comment, share, hit the Cash App up, show some love so we can do different things. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Memphis Bleak, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that podcast. Hopefully Jay-Z will come on there. He'll show some love, because that's his little bro. I want to see Dame Dash on that podcast. Keep it 100. Like, some of these other platforms, I feel like y'all have to stop coming at Dame Dash for mentioning Jay-Z in these interviews. I had a conversation with one of my coworkers the other day, and he's like, yo, why Dame Dash always talking about Jay-Z on the interviews? Maybe all Dame Dash got to do is tell the interviewer, don't ask about Jay-Z. No, nah. He's not doing that. You know why? Because everybody wants to hear what he has to say about Jay-Z. If people didn't want to hear what he was saying about Jay-Z, it wouldn't be getting 400, 500,000 views on YouTube. Every time y'all see a Dame Dash picture on YouTube and y'all see Jay-Z's name affiliated with it, y'all click on it. So stop hating on this man because he found a way to get money. Just like Jay-Z got rid of him and did what he had to do to get his bag. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was like, oh yeah, you can't knock that man hustle. He went to go get the bag. Well, Dame Dash is getting the bag too. All right, he's not doing nothing illegal. Y'all might think it's not honorable or whatever the case is, just like Dame Dash might not feel what Jay-Z did was honorable because Dame Dash put blood, sweat, and tears in the Rockefeller records. And Jay-Z branched off, didn't like how he was moving or whatever the case is, and did what he did. Became successful, made billions. So let Dame Dash get his money the way he's getting it. All right? Y'all mad because he talking about Jay-Z, but y'all still talking about him on y'all platform. And that's how y'all getting money. Y'all go on y'all platforms, these podcasts, and y'all put Dame Dash on y'all thumbnails and y'all captions, and guess what? Y'all getting y'all clicks up because y'all mentioning Dame Dash. And trust me, if y'all could get Dame Dash on y'all platform, y'all would be talking about Jay-Z too. So let's stop. Let's get out of this culture of hating on a black man. Yeah, a black man, because he's talking about what he experienced. Like, he was there. He was there with Jay-Z. So he ain't lying. It's his experience. And I think the thing that people are most mad about is that 90% of what Dame Dash is saying is true. Okay? 90% of what Dame Dash is saying about Jay-Z and whatever happened to Rockefeller is true. That's why Jay-Z isn't responding. I wouldn't respond either. If I was Jay-Z and 90% of what Dame Dash said was true. Topic, what do you think about the terrorism? Nah, I spoke about that earlier in the pod. It's unfortunate. Both of those guys are ex-military, ex-military, where they were in the service. So I feel that they're probably suffering from some type of PTSD. The guy who ran a car into the people in New Orleans, I believe they said his brother was talking about how he had some type of behavioral issue. So that was the reason why he went to the military. So it's unfortunate. The guy who blew up the Tesla, like he shot himself right before the freaking Tesla blew up. So, it's crazy. For people, listen, the devil is busy, man. The devil is busy. That's why I encourage y'all on this platform. It's important to pray. It's important to pray. It's important to believe in some type of higher power, to study it, to have it in your life, because we just can't. It's so much going on in this world, and we just can't wake up, go to sleep, work, and just act like we're just gonna do this on our own. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, some of these men who are doing these acts of terrorism, yes, they might be Muslim. So, that's why it's between whatever faith you have, it's between you and God. Because you have Muslims that are criminals, you have Christians that are criminals, you have that's the conversation. So, we have to watch how we apply. We have to watch how we apply our faith to our everyday life. If that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like, like when the Muslims, when the guys they were on the plane in the 9/11 situation, some of them felt like when they go to heaven, they're gonna have 9 virgin women or something like that. Like there's rumors about how some Muslims think when they commit acts of terrorism. So we have to be careful, what we believe, how we believe it. I'm not going to tell y'all what God to believe in or what faith to have. I can only tell y'all about my spiritual walk and what and who I believe in. You understand what I'm saying? And regardless of my religious belief, killing people or harming people is not a part of the agenda. Not a part of the agenda. Terrorism should not be a part of your agenda. You're killing innocent people. Too many people. A group of 4 young men shot up a club in Queens last night, I think it was, Club Amazura. You know, it's crazy out there, man. Shout out to the people in the room right now. Shout out to the people in the room. Happy New Year to all of y'all. Listen, I ain't telling y'all to go, not to go to clubs or whatever, but be mindful of what clubs y'all going to. Be mindful of do your research, man. I don't care if you gotta go to reviews or Google whatever spot you going to. Be mindful, man, because people out here, they just like the guys who had a shootout on in the Bronx the other day. 2 men shooting in the Bronx the other day. They gonna take a woman. It was a lady out there with her daughter. One of the guys who's shooting gonna grab the woman and use her as a shield. Like, dude, yo, it's getting crazy out here. You gotta be careful. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta stay prayed up, because due to these terrorist attacks, due to these different things that's going on, we have to learn to listen to our gut. Learn to listen to your intuition. You know what I mean? Learn to follow your conscience. Like, yo, do I need to go here tonight? Maybe I should stay home. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. You know? It's crazy out here. So listen, you just got to be mindful, man. You got to be mindful. You know? But back to the Dame Dash situation. You know, we gotta learn to be easy on my guy. Let my man get to his money. Gotta know your surroundings. You got to know your surroundings. Got to. And I get it, man. Some of y'all, sometimes y'all want to go out, you want to go party. I get it. Do your thing. But like, when your gut telling you it's time to go home, go home. Sometimes you don't gotta wait until the party is about to be over to leave. Leave early. You know what I'm saying? If you see a line, be one of those people like, yo, I'm not waiting on no line. Like, I'm not waiting on no line. Those people who got shot up the other night in the Bronx, they was waiting on the line. Sometimes you got to get bougie. Be like, nah, I'm not waiting on no line. Like, I wait in my car. Let me know my reservation is up. Call me. I'll come back to the spot and I go upstairs. You become a target, man. We gotta learn how not to become targets these days. You understand what I'm saying? You become targets. You got people hating on you because you buying all these bottles in the club. You know, you hollering at chicks in the club. Don't know if their ex-man is there. There's all these different variables that come with it, and it's just too much. It's overwhelming. The party scene is for, especially for a black man. You understand what I'm saying? Forget black men. For the culture, it's becoming overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Real talk. So let's just learn how to be more, like my man said, check your surroundings. Listen, shout out to all my people in the building right now watching the live. I wish y'all a happy New Year. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. All right, we gonna be turning up this year. You know, hitting some good topics. Make sure y'all send me an email or something. Email me at harlemceo@gmail.com. All right. If there's any topics that y'all want to talk about, hit the Instagram, Big Picture Media Harlem. Okay, hit that up, and we can talk. You know, we could hit me with some topics. I'll do some research on them, and you know, we'll go from there. All right. But moreover, I hope you guys are having. I hope the first couple of days of the year is going good for y'all. You know, haven't been on here since I think it was a couple of days before Christmas. So, shout out to that. Okay, so shout out to Jeremy Reeves. I'm talking about college sports. Shout out to Jeremy Reeves. he proposed to his fiance. No, I'm sorry. He's in the NFL. He proposed to his fiance on the other day after they clinched a spot in the NFL playoffs. You know, a little controversy because she's white or whatever the case is. Listen, man, let that man rock out, yo. Let that man rock out. All right? It is what it is. You know, wish them love, success. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Okay? So I went past that was on Instagram, and I read this story. It said couples could increase their net worth 77% simply by learning and investing in the process of supporting each other. It's important. It's important, you know, when you're in a relationship that you support each other. You support each other's businesses, support each other's brands, or, um, you know, embrace that journey with them, because that could increase the bond in a relationship. And after it increases the bond, then you could also be successful together. Y'all break bread together. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, a small clip of the video that I saw on Instagram about it, and we're going to briefly talk about it. So shout out to this podcast, what's it called? Aristol Investments. And the actual episode was about everything is yes. Okay. The podcast is actually like 2 hours long. I'm going to watch it later. All right, so keep this.
We talked about when we were there that people who start businesses together statistically stay together longer. And you said statistically that's true.
Yeah.
So through your case studies, walk us down why you think that is true, that couples who build businesses and wealth together last longer.
Yeah, there was actually a case study. It was a study done, and it was posted on the Journal of Psychology. And they had a pool of couples. And what they realized with the pool of couples, that your net worth will increase by 77% simply by learning and investing in the process of supporting each other. And I mean, you guys are a perfect example of that, right?
So,
wow. So your net worth will increase by 77%. That's deep. That's deep. So as I was watching, okay, so after I watched this podcast, it's about 2 hours long. So after I watch this, I'm going to we're going to speak more in depth about this whole 77. You understand what I'm saying? Because I believe it. So I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to talk briefly about it right now. And then I'll watch it, and then maybe in a couple days. What's today? Friday? No, Thursday. So maybe Saturday. By Saturday, I would have watched it and take some notes, and we're going to talk about it. They are working together, so they need each other. Listen, that's a good way to think about it. But what do you mean by they are working together, so they need each other? Like, you know, the moral of the story is that, you know, when you're in a relationship and you're able to start a business together, you know, you live with that person, you know, especially when you're married, you know, when you're living with that person, you could pretty much invest, you know, put your money in the right place, do the research, do all those different things. You know, you're not looking to, cheat her out of her money or whatever the case is, God's willing. As I was watching a little bit of it, you know, it says that his wife, she's paying all the bills in the house, and the husband, he's the one that's putting his money into investments. So depending, everybody's household is different. You know, the investments might be more than what the household bills are, whatever the case is. So every system is different. If they are invested in each other and their job together, if they are invested in each other and their job together, they need each other to help each other. Yeah, it's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? It's an effort, man. You know, but these are I'm not gonna say these are what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not gonna say that we should already have these ways in our hearts and our minds and relationships, because some people don't have them. Some people don't know how to invest their time or invest their thought process into their loved one's business or whatever. They might have a lot going on in their life already, you know. So I think the point of this podcast or this post was to say they started a business together. So there's a big difference between supporting your loved one's business while, you know, doing all the work that you have to do for your business, and actually having a business with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or girlfriend or what have you, you know. So that's definitely a conversation. That's definitely a conversation, you know. So like, I'm gonna watch this, you know, podcast, because, you know, should you be starting a business with somebody before you're married, or should you wait till you get married? That's between, every couple is different. Every person is different. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like buying a house. Like, should you be buying a house with a woman that you're not married to, opposed to waiting until you get married to buy a house? A house is a business. That's a business move, buying a house. It's just like having an LLC. It's ownership of a piece of land. You're buying land. You're buying a house. You're buying property. God forbid this relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, doesn't work. Then what happens? Who gets the house? You understand what I'm saying? This is when emotions start to play. This man done put, because in the world we live in, what happens? The woman usually keeps the house. When you're in a relationship and you're not married, whether you're married or you're not married, a lot of the times, you know, the woman keeps the relationship. So that might be the lineage between, oh, does it really matter if we're married or not, right? Because a lot of the times the woman keeps the property anyway. Okay? Now, to challenge that thought process, a young lady who I know, she was in somewhat of a situation like that, and they were married. And I believe the husband didn't want to keep the house. They must have brought the house together or whatever the case is. So he didn't want to keep the house. It was up to him. A lot of the time, so, all right, so everybody's situation is different, because what happens, you go to court and the judge might rule, hey, listen, the wife gets the house or the husband gets the house, whatever the case is. But in this case, the judge must have ruled for him to have the option to say, hey, listen, whether we either going to keep the house or sell it. He wanted to sell it. So what do? Y'all split that money and you sell it. And you get your piece and you get the other piece. Moreover, these are business decisions that you make. So it's up to you whether you want to do it before you married, after you get married. Because at the end of the day, you know, you're going to have to break bread anyway. You know? So, yeah, I think, you know, sometimes, you know, in good faith, yeah, it's good. It's good. It might be good to start a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're not married, I think it's okay to start a business with them, because you You might find things in that person that might really attract you to her or him while you're doing business with them. You might be like, damn, like I didn't know she had this quality, or I didn't know he had this quality, or you might just become very successful with it, and not saying that you're staying for the money, but you start to share memories together. And marriage is also a business to an extent. It's a corporate merger. Yeah, okay. It's definitely a corporate merger. I just know that I feel like, because I'm not married, never been married, I can only imagine like the different laws that come with marriage opposed to when you're not married. Like, I'm pretty sure they're different. Like, everything is just not, black and white when it comes to, oh, we're married, or we're not. I'm pretty sure that there are laws that say, hey, listen, the wife gets this because, you're married to her. Opposed to like if you're just in a relationship and the judge is like, oh, well, you're not married? All right, well, you got to give him this and she gets this, So, I'm no marriage counselor. I'm no marriage lawyer. None of that, But moreover, this is why we must have conversations with business consultants before we indulge in different business relationships with people, because you want it to work for the best. It could also be a burden to hurt if it doesn't work, and if y'all don't bond and don't use your money. Yeah, of course. But once again, that can happen when you're married too. So you have to do some soul searching. You gotta pray about different things, like that personal walk with God, that personal conversation with Him. I just know for sure that when you're able to build on that different level, you're able to. It helps the relationship, But I think the major piece in this is that they're married. That's the major piece. And like my brother Orlando said, marriage is also a business to an extent. I like what he said, extinct. It's a corporate merger. And I believe we're going to have this conversation more in the future in reference to, having businesses and relationships and things like that. Because you see a lot of, especially people these days, before they're married, they're buying houses together and buying cars and all these different types of things and starting businesses and all these kind of things. And, sometimes, when men get emotional and they start to act up, that can fuel them a bit. You understand what I'm saying? For some who aren't walking the right walk, it might fuel them in the wrong way, because they're thinking about how much they invested in whatever they invested in, right? So some things you might need to wait until, certain walks, certain things, it might be smart to just wait until you get married to do it. It is what it is, because when you're married, I feel that you are a little bit more committed to that relationship with that person rather than you being, oh, that's my boyfriend or that's my girlfriend. When you're married to somebody, it's a bond. It's a deeper bond than, oh, we're just dating. Oh, that's just my boo. Nah, like you're able to say, hey, listen, this is my person, this is my husband, this is my wife, and we're gonna start this business together. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you'll probably benefit more with taxes and things of that nature. So, whole nother conversation, but it's definitely a conversation that's needed in this day and time. You know. Shout out to Coyle Ray. She's pregnant now by Trippie Redd. I kind of saw this. I saw this happening a mile away. She went on tour. Actually, she went on tour with Trippie Redd to promote her album a few years ago. So she was opening, for his shows and things of that nature. So they definitely, built the bond, and now she's pregnant. So shout out to Shotty. You know what I mean? And she's from Jersey, I think. All right. Chipotle customer slams worker in the face with burrito bowl. Wow. Wow. Listen. Chipotle, I don't know what's going on with that company, but I just had a bad experience in Chipotle not too long ago, and it was definitely with the worker, and it made me want to slam the burrito bowl on her face too. It wasn't a burrito bowl I got, or was it? Yeah, it was. So it made me want to slam the burrito bowl on her face too, but I didn't. And I see, listen, man, we can't let these businesses get the best of us. Not saying that, it's okay for them to act the way they act, but it's just sad, man. You don't want to get locked up, because all they're going to do is press charges on you, and you don't want that to happen for you. Okay? Let me see this. Was it Jesus, Lord? Help me, God, why did you take your time with my wife like this? What? Slow D-Lo down, demon time. Hold up 1 second. Shout out to Glorilla. Shout out to Glorilla. I'm just looking at the comments from this post. Shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her. Listen, I did a live not too long ago. I said she's 2024 Rapper of the Year. Okay, it goes to burden. Bills, insurance, and having to take care of the family when it comes down to health, physically and mentally. Okay. Now, are you saying like this is why marriage is helpful in someone's life, or this is why marriage is important? I mean, marriage can be, it could be helpful, yeah, because listen, you're able to split bills, you're able to, sometimes you might not need 2 cars, you just have 1 car. A lot of times in relationships, you don't need 2 cars. You might only need 1 car, or you'll learn how to make it with 1 car, and then you save your money and put that money somewhere else. Insurance and having to take care of the family. Yeah, it's always good. Listen, God forbid something happens to the husband or wife, you're there to take care of each other. You understand what I'm saying? And mentally, yes. Mentally be there for each other. Mental health is real. Mental health is real. If you don't have a therapist, think about getting one. Think about getting one. It's important in these days and times. I look at therapists as like a consigliere. Someone that you could really like talk to about. You could talk to them about anything. That's what they get paid for. Like, you don't just talk to them when you're going through something. Or when the times are bad. You talk to them when and how it can be a burden if it's a one-sided relationship. Yeah, relationships got to be two-sided, man. 2 sides. Transparency. I'm actually looking to get a therapist myself. And I don't pay for that. I get it through my insurance. So I'm looking forward to getting one and, just being transparent. You know, it can definitely help you. I'm telling you, don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you less of a person because you got a therapist. Like, for real. You know? And my advice with that is still don't leave all the work to the therapist, if that makes sense. Like, don't feel like you have to listen to everything they say and do everything they say. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna tell you that too. Like, what are you doing to help your situation? You know, like me personally, like, are you reading books? What type of faith do you have? Like, these are all different things you gotta take into play, you know? And keep it a buck. And like I told you, I'm a 16-year-old white. Oh, I didn't know you was white. I thought you was black. And I'm a 16-year-old, and I didn't know you. Wow, all right, boy. But I love Glorilla just as an artist. Listen, if I was white, I would love Glorilla. If I was a 16-year-old white boy, I would love Glorilla too. You know why? Because, like, I love her versatility as a rapper. Nothing against Sexy Red and what's the other one's name? From the Bronx. What's this girl's name? Ice Spice. You know, like Ice Spice, every other rhyme she said, like she had to shake her butt to keep our attention. Sexy Red, another one. Like she had to bend over and shake her butt to keep our attention. I knew their time wasn't gonna last long in the industry. Like, it's just unfortunate, but listen, I'm not here for it, man. Nah, whiter than the socks logo on your. So you whiter than the socks. Funny guy. I like that. I like that. You're a good kid, man. Listen, you're a good kid, man. And you know what? You know, you're gonna be somebody. You already somebody. You know, and shoot, that's a beautiful thing. So that means, so if you're 16, that means you're like a junior in high school. So you'll be going. Listen. So Orlando Ayala, what is his name on here? Our brother Orlando Ayala, he's actually an assistant principal, you know, for a high school. You know, so, but yeah, so you're a junior in high school. So that means you're about to go to college. What college do you want to go to? If you want to go to college, because college ain't for everybody. You might want to do a trade. You're a sophomore. So you're in the 10th grade, 16. So did you ever get left back, or like was you struggling at some point with your cuz my daughter's 16 and she's a junior. So unless you have like a late birthday or something, I don't know. Early birthday, late birthday, I don't know. Just depends on your birthday. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, 2008 November. Okay, cool. So you're not left back. All right, cool. So even if you was, it happens, bro. It happens. You know, never give up. So yeah, so you're about to graduate in another 2 years. So okay, so you're probably, I don't know if you're thinking about colleges. Yeah, just the birthday. So happy belated birthday, because it looked like your birthday was in November. Happy belated birthday. So it's not too early to look at colleges. I know you're in the 10th grade, so it's not too early. Start looking at colleges at some point. Maybe start, like, what do you want to be? What do you want to be when you what do you want to major in? Do you have something you want to be when you grow up? You know? If not, it's okay. Just give it some time. You're still young. You know? You're still young, B. But yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Good kid. Good kid. 16 years old, and he likes Glorilla. Okay? If you just said Sexy Red or something, I'd be like, yo, nah, come on, get off this live. Yeah. So, listen. January 16th, our brother Joe Button goes to court, and we'll find out what the judge says for him sleepwalking in New Jersey. I plan on going to college. I play baseball. I've talked to 2 colleges. I have about 5 colleges looking at me. at me. No offers yet, though. And I want to be a realtor, and I plan on going to UNCP for baseball. UNCP. What's UNCP? Baseball is cool. That's what's up. So we'll find out what's going on with Joe Buttons January 16th. Hopefully, he handles his sleepwalking situation, because we don't want to see this brother going through this again. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Like, and for safety reasons too. So Little Dirk's father, he went on Instagram the other day, and I'm a major in business management. Okay, all right, it's a good major. A lot of math. One thing I didn't know about business management when I was taking it, that it was a lot of math, bro. I was like, well, I gotta do all this math. You know what I'm saying? So if you're good at math, then fool with the business management. Like, that's all you right there, beloved. UNCP is a University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Wow, Pembroke. Never heard of that. And they're gonna play baseball. So yeah, man, rock out with the baseball thing, man. Hopefully you'll go to the major league or something like that. And I'll interview you. When you get there. I interview you when you're in college playing baseball. No biggie smalls, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? But yeah, stay focused. Keep that GPA up. So Little Dirk's father says that he feels the reason why Little Dirk is in this situation right now is because he started to change. He started to convert to the Muslim faith, and turn his life around. I was watching a podcast last night, and I watched about 2 interviews, and one of the interviews was Young Noble from Outlaws, the group that Tupac was on, that he started when he was alive, and the other one was what's this guy's name? Napoleon. So Napoleon, 3.75 is awesome. You're there. Keep it up. So Napoleon is another rapper who was down with the Outlaws also. And, these guys are from Jersey. And Napoleon, he's converted his faith. He's a Muslim now also. And he lives in Saudi Arabia. I commend him, for turning his life around. I know they experienced a lot rolling with Tupac, and touring and having, they spoke about how when Tupac got shot in Las Vegas, how they was in California, they drove to Las Vegas, and how they was getting death threats. People were calling the hospital, making threats, saying how they was gonna come and finish the job, and they was just saying how Pac, his hospital, the room he was in, was on the first floor. So people were like, it was a window in his room too. So people were driving by, gang members or whomever were driving by, some of them slow, and ice grilling them and things of that nature. And they were on rotating shifts. So the Outlaws, it was like 6 of them, 7 of them that pulled up. 3 of them sat outside. They were switching shifts. Some sat inside with him to make sure nobody came, to shoot up his hospital room. And it's just unfortunate, how all of that played out, and how powerful, the Muslim faith is. You see a lot of rappers, they turn their life, to the Muslim faith. And, some, it's like, they say, like, when people go to jail, they join the Muslim faith or any faith for protection. Sometimes for protection, or they join a gang for protection, whatever the case is. So in Little Dirk's case, we don't know why he joined the Muslim faith. He could have joined it for protection. He could have joined it just to turn his life around. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Moreover, you know, for his father to say that he feels that the feds came after him for that, you know, if I was a conspiracy theory person, I would say, oh yeah, it makes sense, because a lot of conspiracy theorists feel that some of these rappers have like this cult with corporate America when it comes to hip hop, that they must feed negativity to the youth in order to stay afloat, in order to be successful, in order for them to keep up whatever streams they have on YouTube, in order for them just to be relevant. So whenever you say to yourself, hey, listen, I'm not going to live this life anymore. I'm not going to rap about killing. I'm not going to rap about gangs. I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm going to turn my life around. Then, yeah, you might, as one of those CPs, well, CTs, let's call them conspiracy theorists, they might feel like, hey, listen, okay, now we're going to expose you. We're not going to protect you no more. We're not going to protect you from the feds. We're not going to protect you from anything that's been going on in your life, whether if you were committing crimes or what have you. We're not going to protect you from that no more, right? So now what happens? The feds come for him. Now he's in jail. So, like I said, if I was a CT, then yeah, I would believe that. And you don't even have to be a conspiracy theorist, because it does look like, you know, from a consumer standpoint and somebody in media, that the only artists that are successful in the industry were, of course, the drill rappers and the rappers who rhyme about, the women who rhyme about sex and all sorts of kind of stuff, and the rappers who rap about killing. On the flip side is, you know, the reality part of it is like, nah, like, who is your friend? You said, that's my friend. Who's your friend? On the flip side of it, it's nah, yeah, man, you know, you reap what you sow. Like, if you had any type of affiliation with any murders or acts of crime, whatever happened, then, you know, you gotta pay. And it's just unfortunate. You know, just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean that, you know, you don't have to do your time for something that you did in the past. You know? So let's not, you know, get into this whole energy of like copping a plea or copping out to conspiracy theorism, because, you know, yeah, it can happen, but, you know, if he was involved in this, you know what I'm saying, then it's just unfortunate that stuff like this happens. You know, the feds expose you. You know what I'm saying? They come for you. You know, because especially if you got it in your rhymes, if you rhyming about, you know, murders and people getting lined up and stuff like that, like, at some point they're coming for you. You know, and I can understand where his father's coming from. I definitely understand where his father's coming from, though. You know, and it's unfortunate. You know, it's happening to Diddy right now. It's happening to Jay-Z right now. It happened to R. Kelly. It happened to Bill Cosby. It happened to a lot of greats. You know? So, play the game I love. Of course. Of course. So, yeah, man. But yeah, back to the Napoleon and Outlaws. I highly recommend that y'all watch the interview. It's on, I believe, The Art of a Dialogue. And they interviewed Young Noble, and he interviewed Napoleon. Okay? You'll have to read all of it. Oh, my bad, bro. Okay, and now I don't want to go to the league. I'm gonna play for the Savannah Banana. What the? I'm gonna play for the Savannah Bananas. You need to look it up. It's really cool. I have a friend who plays for them. Who's the Savannah Bananas? Yo, you wildin'. Are you hilarious, kid? All right, so yeah, so look at the interviews. I also recommend. Okay, I'll look it up. Or send it to my Instagram. You got my IG. Send it to my Instagram. So I also highly recommend that you guys watch this documentary called "Dope as Death." Okay, I just posted it on my Instagram just now, and it's pretty much, it's a powerful exploration of community healing and activism. Okay, um, it's really based on Dr. Mutulu Shakur. May he rest in peace. This was Tupac Shakur's stepfather, and pretty much he created an acupuncture therapy where heroin addicts can go to their what do we want to call it, to their location. They had a base in the Bronx, and heroin addicts were able to go there and receive acupuncture therapy, and they were also taught how to be acupuncture therapists also, instead of them having to go to the methadone clinics in the Bronx or wherever they were at, because the methadone clinics, it wasn't to heal them. It wasn't to heal them from their heroin addiction. It only healed them temporarily, and then they was back on getting to the drugs that they wanted. Okay, I got it. So the acupuncture therapy, bro. Damn, bro. Why you gotta single out the Bronx friend? Nah. Well, okay. The reason why I singled out the Bronx fiends is because their location was located. The base. Yeah, Harlem got fiends too. We know that. So, I can only imagine, what type of situation they had though, during that time when people were trying to get off. Listen, they were messing up the government's money, all right, by creating that acupuncture therapy system. The government did not like that. Okay, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, he got that therapy process off of he was reading an article, and it was an Asian doctor. I believe it was in China or one of them Asian countries, where he got that the acupuncture therapy process from, and he was able to teach it to the brothers and sisters in the Bronx and different boroughs, right? And not only were they teaching acupuncture therapy, they were also teaching. Not teaching, but they were also giving information on like health programs, food programs, all of these different things, right? So when Dr. Mutulu Shakur and we're going to create the lineage, trust me, all right? So when Dr. Mutulu Shakur and his team went to Asia, to a country, I think it was China, but when they went out there to visit the doctor and visit the people who started this program, when they came back, their base in the Bronx was on fire. It was burnt down, and like I said, they were taking money out of the government's pocket, right? So what they did was they moved that Bronx location that they was at, they moved it to Harlem, okay? So mind you, during this whole time, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, he was married to Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur. So I put on a post earlier that Tupac Shakur was born and primarily raised in Harlem. Okay, So Tupac was born in 1971. They left Harlem in 1984 and they moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, and so in 1981, that's when they had so Dr. Matulu Shakur and a couple other Black Panthers were on the run because they were wanted for a Brinks money truck robbery. Okay, so I don't know how familiar y'all are with the Black Panthers. Moreover, if you watch this documentary, it will explain how deep they were rooted. Okay, you had doctors that white doctors. You had white doctors that were down with the movement, with the Black Panther movement. You had white therapists. You had all different races that were down with the Black Panther movement. So when some of these Black Panther members were on the run, some of them went underground. Some of the doctors went underground. Some of the members, they went to Cuba, different countries, or what have you. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, so Tupac was born in 1971. The Brink robbery truck was in 81. You know what I'm saying? They moved they moved the acupuncture therapy place to Harlem, and then they left. Afeni Shakur and Tupac left Harlem in '84. So I put the post up, and some people asked, why didn't Tupac rep Harlem? Why wasn't he a big rep of Harlem coming up or whatever? And it could be a situation where his mother was like, yo, don't even mention Harlem like that in your rhymes. I don't want people to know you's from Harlem or whatever. I don't know. My whole thing is that they left Harlem in 1984, 3 years after the Brink robbery truck. All right, and they had to leave Harlem. They had to flee Harlem and go somewhere else, and that's understandable. They moved to Baltimore, and then they end up going out to Cali by '88. So and then that's where he embraced the West Coast culture, hip hop culture, met up with different people from the Outlaws, and a lot of the outlaws, some of the outlaws that were living in Cali are rooted back in New Jersey. So that's where the lineage with the whole outlaws, being from Montclair, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and Pac being out there in LA and showing LA love. So but yeah, listen, man, the Fiends was everywhere. Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn, it was just good to see that, and all right, so pardon me, it wasn't just the Black Panthers that were a part of that movement. It was also the Young Lords too. All right. I'm not gonna call them a gang, but moreover, they their blueprint was used. They pretty much used the same blueprint as the Black Panthers. Okay, so this was a Latin organization and I'm gonna give props to them because they shut down Lincoln Hospital in a matter of minutes. You understand what I'm saying? And they have a documentary on, I believe it's on Apple TV also. So you can catch Dope as Death on Apple TV or Prime, and you can catch the Young Lords. They have a documentary also. Just Google Young Lords, and it talks about their whole how they shut Lincoln Hospital down in the Bronx because Lincoln Hospital they wasn't getting the proper resources that they needed from the hospital. The doctors, I guess they wasn't getting the service that they needed from that hospital. But you had certain doctors that worked there that felt the same way that a lot of the patients felt, that a lot of the, that felt the same way the patients felt and the people of the community felt, right? So what I don't want to give up, the how it went down, but just Crip. Community revolution in progress. Yeah. So again, I'm glad you're bringing this up, right? Because I didn't want to give away the Young Lord, how that went down. Go see Young Lords and go see their documentary and see how they were able to take over the Lincoln Hospital and make changes for the community. You know, I had a Young Lord come and talk to one of my classes once in Sugar. Yeah, yo, listen, like, it's that, listen, this is why education is important. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of the things we not gonna learn just in books, or we just not gonna learn in general. Our parents might not know it. Like, I wasn't taught this from my parents, ain't teach me this. You understand what I'm saying? I learned this. You know, I'm grateful to have a professor who was able to expose us to that. So I'm glad that she was able to expose that to your students, bro. You understand what I'm saying? That means you linked in correctly. And yes, CRIP, it stands for Community Revolutionary in Progress. And it's crazy. I wouldn't mind having a gang member on my live to interview him, you know, about what the meaning of these gangs were in the beginning. Because I highly doubt, you know, they were meant to, our people come from oral traditions. Yeah, man. Yeah, they only know what do you mean by oral traditions? Because I'm thinking they only come from what they were taught. Our people come from oral traditions, only from what we're taught. I mean, especially with social media now, it's so in the internet, so many ways. And this is good. And this is what my brand is always about. This is why I created my brand, right? Because I used to have co-hosts. I had a co-host that was like 10, 12 years younger than me. And then Will, he's like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And then you got myself. So it's this brand is meant, the Big Picture brand, of course, the Big Picture is meant to create a bridge for the different generations, right? So what I mean by that is, like, you got myself, right? I'm 45. Then you got my younger brother, Orlando. He's probably like 4 or 5 years younger than me, right? And then you got our little brother, Nova. Nova's 16. So right now, what you're doing is not only, and I said this earlier, not only am I giving information and educating you guys, but, you know, our brother right now is educating us, and we're both educating Nova. Yes. So what you have to do, Nova, is you have to write down, okay, you 42, copy. So yeah, I got like 3 joints on you, no diddy. Nova, what you have to do is watch the documentary Dope is Death. It's on my Instagram page. All right, it's available on Apple, and it's available on Amazon Prime. Okay? And I don't know if you ever heard about the drug heroin. All right? Okay? But it talks about how Dr. Mutulu Shakur was able to create acupuncture therapy to help people, you know. But it just doesn't talk about that. It talks about the power of collective learning. Collective learning. So collective learning and education is pretty much you being able to learn from myself, your elders, or even maybe somebody younger than you. You understand what I'm saying? That's called collective learning. And this is what my brand is all about. Collectively learning. Okay? Just like how you learn something every day when you on here. All right? So you watch Dope is Death and you watch the Young Lords. They have a documentary also about how they were able to take over Lincoln Hospital. So, so the gang culture. Talk about oral traditions, though, Orlando. You said our people come from oral traditions. Just briefly in the chat, say what all. Yeah, you learn things based on who you're around. So whatever company you keep, yeah, Young Lords. Young Lords is they're not a gang, but if you've heard of the Black Panthers, they're pretty much their blueprint is from the Black Panthers. Okay, and they did things in the community. They had food drives. They had all different types of things that helped the community. After school programs, all of those different things. But they shut down Lincoln Hospital. They were able to infiltrate Lincoln Hospital and pretty much run the hospital for a day. Okay, meaning they held the hospital hostage, and they ran the hospital for a day. So whoever was already in the hospital, they made a doctor do this. They made the nurse do this and do that. So you have to watch it for yourself so you can experience what actually happened and why they did what they did. Okay? They administered that hospital for a whole day, and the cops, they had to they were all outside or what have you, and in order for them to let the hostages go, the politicians in that neighborhood, they had to pretty much agree with what their demands were, that certain things had to change within that hospital in order for them, to let the hostages go. Like, we're not letting nobody go until we can have an agreement on what needs to change in this hospital. Okay? They were getting horrible service. Horrible service. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, so I would love to interview a gang member on my platform who can pretty much explain what gangs represented in the beginning. Because we all hear, we hear bad stories about gangs, Bloods and Crips, or what have you. Moreover, I don't want to say the beginning of time, but when they first started, I believe that they were doing things for the community, positive things. My educated guess would be, once drugs came into the community, once crack and heroin, all these different drugs came into the community, I feel like you had certain gangs that took advantage of that, and that's what kind of turned the gangs into crime organizations. Okay? So that's just my ideology of I feel like I've heard it before, or of how some of these gangs became negative in our communities, to where they're fighting each other. Because if the name of your organization is Community Revolutionary in Progress, that has nothing to do with, killing people and fighting over territories and things of that nature. So, the focus changed. Yeah, man. The focus definitely changed. Rest in peace to, I think his name was Big Tunchi. It's unfortunate, he died in jail, and he changed his life in jail, and he was writing books, and he died in jail when I believe Obama was president, and Obama didn't pardon him. That still doesn't sit right with me. Being red or blue. Yes. So Bloods are red and the Crips are blue. Drugs ruined the community in the 80s. Yeah, man. So when crack came into the community, it ruined us, man. It broke apart families. It messed up relationships. People, you will hear stories. People will come home like, yo, their TV's gone, or the microwave is gone. Like, because people were selling stuff for crack, man. Back in the 80s. They were getting rid of everything, man. We got people selling their kids, and it's just just weird stuff just to get a hit. So it's sad, man. It's sad, you know. But like I said, I'm gonna do a gang special, you know, where I'm interviewing a gang member or two, and we're gonna have this conversation. We're gonna have this conversation, because you know, especially now with these kids these days, like these days, it's not even blood or crip no more. There's so many gangs, like there's so many gangs that's like subsidiaries. I feel like of Bloods and Crips. I don't know if they're sets, and then you got like gangs that are not even affiliated with Bloods and Crips, and these dudes are walking around shooting and killing people like this a video game. And that's what baffles me. I'm like, yo, these kids is wild, man. These kids is wild. I can't, man. You know? And it makes me wonder, you know, what type of leaders or role models do they have? It also makes me wonder what type of programs do they have in the community? Like, are there programs in the community? Are there programs in the school system that that are engaged with these children, with these kids? Because if there's nobody in the school system that's creating a rapport with these students on that level, bringing like gang members from the old school or whatever the case is, you know, like you said, you had the young lords come to the school and talk to these kids and let them know the outcome of being in these gangs. Like, people just want to belong. Yeah, they just want to belong to something. It's human nature. Half of them aren't tough alone, but they're empowered in groups. Yeah, so yeah, they're not even, half of these kids are not even tough, man. They're not even built like that, bro. They're not even built like that, B. You understand what I'm saying? They're hiding behind a rag or a flag. They're hiding behind a gun. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not getting no, and then some of them aren't getting no attention from their parents. So the first thing they do is they run to these gangs. You understand what I'm saying? Or if they feel they don't have nobody to look out for them, then they run to these gangs. You know what I'm saying? Moreover, there needs to be, like in these schools, there needs to be programs, some type of brotherhood programs, sisterhood programs that are guiding these kids to some type of success, because they feel they don't got nothing, man. Yeah, or a prison system took their, or the prison system took their pops. You know, so what happens when you get, the streets are raising these kids. Yo, man, once you could like grab the mind of these kids and like control them, these kids become robots, yo. You tell them to do anything, they're gonna do it. It's almost like these kids are hypnotized. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids are being abused at home. So they come to school with this anger. It's so much, yo, man. It starts at the home. It definitely starts at the home, man. And it's not the school's responsibility. You're right. Because it's already bad they don't get paid enough. Right? So it's not the school's responsibility. It's like, yo, I feel like when you focus too much on, it's crazy you bring that up too. I'm glad you bring it up. When you focus too much on the knuckleheads, right, in the school, I feel like sometimes, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you can kind of you'll spend less time on the ones that want to be something. So there's a thin line between creating all of these programs and spending all this time on the bad ones, because you spend less time with the good ones. Anything kids are being neglected in their turn to this. Listen, man, all right, cool. I might sound crazy when I say this, but I'm just trying to create some type of lineage with, making the school system, the people who work in the school, their jobs easier, or You know, because it's like, you know, the teachers and the counselors, they have, you know, they got to be careful for their mental health too, right? The other day, a group of, okay, I got you, bro. The other day, a group of black men walked in the bathroom, and one kid throws water on me, and instead of standing on his word, he runs out the bathroom and down the hall because he want to act tough, but won't stand on it. Okay. The other day, a group of black males walk in the bathroom, and one kid. All right, I'm gonna get to that. I got you, because I don't want to lose train of thought what I was about to say. So you know they got this whole prison pipeline thing, right? Prison was a prison pipeline system where where the kids, where they have like this, they create a record if they committing crimes in school, right? They might go to jail, they might not go to jail, whatever the case is, but you know they end up going to jail eventually by the time they're in high school or getting out of high school or whatever the case is, right? Some of them get expelled from the school. School to prison pipeline. Thank you for correcting me. So the school to prison pipeline, I feel, is a system where kids are being put, they're ending up in prison. Some of them before they're 18. We have to protect the good kids at some point. Okay? Now, the flip side of this is that I feel prisons need to be more of a rehabilitation system. I don't feel that prisons are rehabilitating these individuals. You know, I feel that prison is a jungle. They try to link kids' reading levels. Okay, I got you. They try to link kids' reading levels and state test grades to their expectancy. Okay, to enter the prison system. Wow. So they try to link kids' reading levels and state test grades. Wow. Okay, so wow, that sounds like a lot, because now we're talking about kids who possibly are not aggressive, moreover have a low test grades. So now they're putting them in situations. Now I don't want to say situations, but how are they linked? Okay, so now you're teaching me something. How are they linking them? How are they linking them to a prison pipeline system just because, or a prison system just because their grades are low, or because they have a low expectancy? Expectancy. Am I saying? Am I? Expectancy. Yes, expectancy to enter. Okay, of performing on their tests. Like how are they able to link them to this, you know, to prison? Oh, it's just data. Okay. So this is just like, okay, I get. So these are just numbers. Okay, I get it. A kid at my school last year. Okay, so I got you, Nova. I've been on here for 113 minutes, so, you know, bear with me, guys. My eyes. Okay. Okay, so Nova. So the other day, a group of black boys walk in the bathroom, and one kid throws water on me, and instead of standing on his word, he runs out the bathroom. So, I mean, it looks like you thought you was gonna have a chance to fight him, but he ran out the hallway. Ran in the hallway. Scooter in pipeline. A kid at my school last year, 18-year-old, had a pound of weed in his locker and a gun and got arrested and sent to jail. Wow. They find that kids that don't do well drop out and eventually commit crimes at a higher rate than kids that do well in school. Wow, so it sounds like these are expectancy numbers that they're coming up with, and the numbers are numbering. Assuming when you assume, okay, all right, okay. Well, we're not gonna make a ASS of you and me. We're not gonna do that. Interesting. So what happened, Nova? Did you want to fight the kid, and he ran away, like he ran out the bathroom? And if you wanted to fight him, I get it, man. He threw water on you. I get it. It's cool, bro. You know, I'm just glad nothing happened, and you're you're still alive, and you're not in jail. These schools are crazy, man. Some of these schools are crazy. So, we're hitting some really good points. So, I was talking about jail. Yes, jail needs to be more of a rehabilitation system than what it is now. Because some of these schools might not be able to help these kids. It's unfortunate. Some of these schools might not be able to help these kids because some of these kids end up in jail. You understand what I'm saying? Before they even get the help they can supposed to get. Well, it's not the fact that I wanted to fight him, but I don't understand why you would do something to attack someone and then run away. Because they're punks, bruh. They're punks. And you gotta think about it. You 16 years old, right? I can only imagine how some 16-year-olds think, man. And you say they were black kids. Like, I don't know what the ratio is, you know what I'm saying, with black and white kids in your school. Like, not sure, like, are there a lot of white kids in your school? Are there a lot of black kids? Like, is your school majority white or is it majority black? Because, say for instance, you're the only, it's what, 5% white people in your school. You're looked at as a minority. Or if it's 20% white, you're looked at as a minority. Right? Or vice versa. Say for instance, it's a lot of white kids in that school, mostly white kids. Okay, cool. So it's mostly white kids. So, even with that being the case, you got some black kids that might, they might look at all as, white kids are punks or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And we the bad boys or whatever the case is. But to think like that, you a punk in general. So that's why they punks. They do stuff and they run. It's a small town, but mostly white kids. Yeah, and they made a fool of themselves, man. They cut funding in jails, same as schools. Yeah, man. Wow, so they stopped funding the jails? That's crazy. That's crazy. So you know what, man? Jail is becoming a jungle. It's becoming the wicked jungle, the wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. So if they cutting funding in jails, that means less programs, less therapy, less medical attention, less mental attention. School is jail, not being fun. How do you? Well, some schools. You go to school. Nah, school ain't jail, man. Depending on what school you go to, there are some schools out there that are rough. You do feel like you in jail. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like they say. It's just minus the bars. It's a possibility. That's you could be in a school that feels like jail. It's a possibility. Maybe you should get out of that school. Transfer schools. I mean, you got a freaking, 3.7 average? Come on, man. Get up out of there. If it's possible. You know, I know you might. I don't know if you want to report the things that happen to your dean or whatever. You might feel like a snitch or whatever. But yeah, man, you need to try to transfer schools, man. You got almost a 4.0 average. You gotta, you know. But yeah, the jail system, I do feel it's they're not receiving the funding it needs. I see jails. I look at jail as being worse. The minute they made the correction officer exams free, that's when I knew that wasn't the place to be. An employee or as a client. Because if you in prison, you a client. Feel me? No, they stopped funding education programs. Oh, so they stopped funding education programs in jail. Okay, so kind of what I was just saying just now. So you can't even go to jail and maybe get a GED or diploma, or I feel like people were getting college degrees in jail too at some point. Wow. Yeah, education is important, and they need to, and they need to, and this is what some of these, I don't know why some of these people running for president don't talk about this kind of stuff, like funding jails. Brothers used to be able to get their, this is, yo, bro, you took the words out of my mouth, fam. Like, I feel like brothers, yeah, they were able to get law. I forget there was somebody who got their law degree in jail. I saw a movie on it, bro. Let me do my Google facts right now. Let me do my fact checks right now. There was a movie on somebody who got their law degree in jail, B. Hold up. And the show was on Channel 7 too. Hold up now, I might be bugging. Hold up. Okay, who got their law degree in jail? Okay, so Bernard McKinley is a man who earned a college degree while incarcerated and was accepted into law school. So he got accepted to law school while incarcerated. Okay. Brothers, the focus was on rehab, but then corporations were getting laid to fill in the jail. Oh, they were getting paid to fill in the jail. Yeah, man. So you did, yeah. So it looks like Bernard McKinley, he earned his college degree in jail and was accepted into law school. Okay, so let me put, did he earn his law degree in jail? Let me type that part. Hold up. Did Bernard Yes, I've been on here for a minute. My brain is tired and my eyes, so I'm still rolling with y'all. We here. I'm still rolling with y'all. McKinley. So did Bernard McKinley get his law degree in jail? Okay, so he got his law degree in prison. Now he's off to prestigious law school. Since leaving prison for 2023. Okay, all right. So he didn't get his law degree in jail. So, but people were able to get law degrees in jail. Okay, so celebrities out to build more cells. Yeah, man. Like these corporations, man. The focus was on rehab, but the corporations were getting paid to fill the. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Celebrities out to build more, yeah. And then it was a rumor that maybe not law degrees, but they were at least able to research. Yeah, so you might be right, man. Hold up, let me see something. Was it ever possible? Was it ever possible to get a law degree in jail. Prison to Law Pipeline is a program to help incarcerated legal scholars obtain. So prison to law. Okay, so Prison to Law Pipeline is a program that helps incarcerated legal scholars obtain ABA accredited law degrees and ABA approved paralegal degrees. The thought process behind the program is to offer opportunities within the legal system to those most directly impacted by the legal system. So it says you can definitely earn a law degree, but there's not a state or federal prison in this country that allows prisoners to take the bar. Gotcha. So you can earn your law degree in jail, but you cannot take the bar exam while you're in jail. That is the catch. Also, passing the bar exam does not guarantee that you will be licensed and eligible to practice in a court of law. Okay, so gotcha. All right, so we're learning something new. Too many prisoners were becoming empowered. Yes. Listen, man. When you start enabling these people to become power, have all this power while in jail, bro, like you start to defeat the system. And they start to, if less people are in jail, now it's less overtime and you know, they have nothing but time to read in prison and work out. Yep. You can earn a degree but can't practice. Yeah. Cool. Listen, man, yo, the vibes were crazy tonight, man. I love it. I love the direction that we're going with it tonight. But I'm about to jump off this joint. Listen, the live is the video is gonna stay up on YouTube. Continue to put comments on it, and we can continue to build off of this conversation through the comments. Okay, so because this is some very good information that we have been learning tonight and talking about tonight. Shout out to Orlando, shout out to Nova, shout out to the other people that was on a live tonight. And yeah, I'll be back on probably, if not tomorrow, definitely on Saturday. And you know, we'll talk more. All right, so one love. Once again, Happy New Year. Yes, always a pleasure, my brother. I appreciate you, bro. You know how we do, man. All right, so one love. I'll talk to y'all later.